Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Raising Excellence. I'm Michael, the Opportunity Ambassador and MC for today's teaser episode. And the title of this week's show is going to be, Is Your Universe Hostile or Friendly? This is a good question. With me today is my favorite fellow co-host, Dennis. Dennis, how you doing?
Greetings and blessed love, everyone. Thanks, I'm doing well. Great to be with you, Mike. Thank you for passing by and checking out the teaser, everyone. Is the universe hostile or friendly? That it goes back to a quote of Einstein, supposedly,
Yes.
who asked that question, and I think it is an interesting question, and it leads us to really reflect on how we look at the world that we live in, and in extension at ourselves as well, isn't it?
Well, we talked about a couple different examples of like how how we view the world and how we act in like what the world gives us is really, it's kind of a thing that we contribute to. And we were talking about Plato's Republic, the ring of Gyges, this idea that like if you can put on a ring that makes you invisible and that you have no consequences for your actions, are you going to act in a just way, or are you going to act in a self-interest? And regardless of what the consequences are, do what you want. And to some degree, that is out there. The governments and the multinational corporations, they sell us stuff, and to some degree, we don't know what the consequences of what we're buying, how that actually impacts the world, and to a large degree, if we're unaware of what the consequences of our actions are, then we leave ourselves open for contributing to evil.
Also, the control system that we are supposedly controlled by, and that we're living in, is really has been putting out this from day one, isn't it? Saying that we need itself. It's like a self-justification of the system that we're living in or under, supposedly, which says, well, there's no other alternative if we don't do it our way, the way that we say it must be. If there's no coercion, if there's no mommy daddy states, if there's no coerced consequences for the actions that we deem is bad and is wrong, then the whole thing is going to fall apart, and then evil is going to take over, and nothing will happen again, and everything just will fall apart.
Yeah, and that's to some degree, if we don't, and I think this kind of goes back to what Plato was kind of pointing to with the Republic, and really, I think this is kind of part of the grammar that makes the logic that suggests that we need people to be our rulers, and we need to take on that role of the philosopher king, as I think Plato basically said, is that, like each person has their own particular role to play, and of course the rulers have to have they got to do their role. But to some degree, if we don't keep an eye on what is the quality of what they're delivering, if their artistry is leaving us with more difficulties than they're delivering as far as value, then are they actually doing the job that they're supposed to be doing? And if so, then obviously this whole system is really irrational. That the logic that they have behind justifying what they're doing and why they're doing it is really something to be, I think, questioned.
Mm-hmm. And ultimately, it really, the question, is your universe, is it hostile, is it friendly? It ultimately points back at yourself. But how do you see yourself? Are you hostile? Are you friendly? Because if one reflects the other, then it's that deep that it actually goes. It's not only looking outward, but it's looking inward as well, and seeing how one reflects the others and how both of them actually are connected. So, and there's many solutions, of course, to to a situation where you think, or where you might be in a position to say, oh, it's really hostile, it's a hostile place, it's not friendly at all, there's only fighting, there's only elbows out there, there's operation coercion, and that's why I have to put myself on that level in order to, just make things happen, in order to survive. And yeah, and like we have a bunch of ideas and solutions. There's certainly more, and you certainly might have lived through or know a few as well. So we're looking forward to seeing you and hearing from you on Wednesday, in the comment section. And yeah, so we're looking forward to a interesting and lively show, and co-creating yet another show together with you, our guests, and spending an hour worthwhile of our time, and see what we can do to support each other, and to make this universe a friendly one for all of us.
Yeah, I think it is really our opportunity as a community of people to really make decisions ourselves. And really, I think there is a lot to. I think it's relatively simple, honestly. I mean, like in Plato's explanation in the Republic, he talks about, well, the justification is if we need luxurious goods, we're going to have to go to war, because we're going to have to steal people's stuff to, have nice things for cheap prices. And I think to a large degree, like we all kind of participate in that logic if we don't understand the consequences of the actions that we take. So if we're buying iPhones from China, and those iPhones are being produced by people that are being held as slaves, then who's to blame? If we don't pay attention to what the consequences of our actions or what we're contributing to, it's highly likely that can be taken advantage of. And so we've got to be able to be more aware. And certainly how we do that is we work together, because like if you're over on the other side of the world in China, and you say, hey, how's things going over there? You say, oh man, it's terrible. Well, are we contributing to that?
It is.
If we create the situation where we can remove the inequities, then we remove the potential for evil, I think.
Yeah, and you're already going into the solutions, and definitely awareness is a big thing, to bring awareness to who we are, to what we do, what we use, what we utilize, from your cell phone, from the things that we surround ourselves with, from the things and the foods that we put into our bodies. So there's really a whole array of situations that we can actually turn around, if you bring awareness to it. And yeah, so we want to challenge you out there to to maybe think a little bit about that question that Einstein put out. Is it a friendly or is it a hostile universe? And then let's think about it for 2 days, and then let's come together and throw our thoughts together and come up with some solutions, and see what benefits those could have on an individual level, but also on a level of the world that we live in. And especially right now in these times, find ways of how we can actually help each other, because a lot of us out there, like we're getting fed up and depressed, and sad, and pretty lonely in the current situation. So it is devastating, yes, but on the other side, it's also prevalent times to find solutions and to do something different. And that's a huge opportunity in itself. So let's make use of it, and of the technology that we have available. And yeah, so Wednesday again, right here on YouTube, and streaming live on Facebook as well. It's 11:35 p.m. Central European time, and your time is Central time.
4:35 p.m. Central time. We're going to try and get close to that time. It may be a few minutes beyond that, but we will definitely be here at that time. And we look forward to your input as well, for sure.
Yes. Thank you, and talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.